What is good, Lottery Stocks fan? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, we didn't cover GameStop earlier, so we need to talk about it before the warrants are issued tomorrow. Today, the NYSE approved GameStop's warrants to come into the market tomorrow, which is going to cause a lot of volatility and complications for the chart. We need to talk about where the price went today, where I think it's going tomorrow. We also need to cover AMC and some other things. As many of you know, Robinhood went down earlier today. The same day, the NYSE approved the warrants for GameStop, but it was also around the same time Nvidia surged about 36% on the news of OpenAI partnering with AMD. Now, what was so interesting about that is people turned about 10K into over 100 million on AMD. Insiders knew what was going on with AMD. Now, an insider didn't only bet 10K, obviously. There was about 6 million worth of calls purchased before the close on Friday that we didn't end up catching, but again, somebody always knows. Aside from that, Robinhood went down earlier. We'll talk about it. Let's get into the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications on. I will leave timestamps down below. But before we jump into all of this, I want to talk about a stock that is trading at a quarter of a dollar. It's Tradewinds. Now, this one's actually an interesting one. It's Tradewinds Universal, ticker symbol TRWD, a microcap holding company based in California. We've recently seen holding companies go up thousands and thousands of dollars. Obviously, that is not necessarily the case. I just figured I would bring that up. But this company recently, this year, got upgraded to OTCID. As these companies are very, very small and skeptical and risky, especially being on the OTC markets, being categorized or moving themselves to OTCID means they are trying to increase their transparency. This means that they are fully reporting everything to the SEC now. So it's better than just being on the OTC, a much less unregulated market. Now, anyway, this company owns and invests in small emerging businesses, mainly consumer and what they claim to be recession-resistant sectors. Tradewinds Universal engages in the development, manufacture, and distribution of nutrient-based edible insect foods. Their first business was UP Proteins, which makes sustainable nutrition products like protein powders, bars, as well as possibly insect-based protein, which I find very interesting because we haven't covered a company like this. Now, lately, the company has shifted towards acquisitions, which is also interesting. They announced that their interest is in new sectors like hospitality and entertainment through a letter of intent with Peppermint Hippo, which is a nightclub brand. Now, over on their site, you can see their holdings right here, our portfolio of purpose-driven brands. They have Up Protein, the Peppermint Hippo, and then Catalyst Strategies. But I find this one very interesting. Will they possibly get bought out as being a very, very, very small cap stock? Or will they sell these businesses to raise more capital and move into better businesses? What will they do with this? I find it very interesting, and I'm going to keep it on my radar. As always, do your own due diligence. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Again, that is ticker symbol TRWD. Now, let's jump into what happened earlier today. Robinhood went down on the same day the NYSE approved GameStop's warrants. GameStop is arguably the most dangerous stock in the market for short sellers in the system itself. Yada, 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 yada. We all know that. Why could this have any correlation? Well, it is because that these brokers, these clearinghouses, have to really clean up in the background, behind the scenes, for these warrants for tomorrow. They have to prep for tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to guarantee a price movement up or down on GameStop, but what I will likely state, again, not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, and I could be very, very wrong. This is all opinionated, is that we will see volatility, volatility, volatility. GameStop has played out through these cycles, and I've taken the last one recently to map it out closer, but they have played out very similarly every single time, and this is where I believe GameStop's chart is at. We are seeing 3 down candles today. Prior, we had this mini rally, and this is where I believe we are entering into the mini or macro parabolic phase, depending on if things get crazy or if a catalyst is dropped. Speaking if a catalyst is dropped, Ryan Cohen reposted this that GameStop posted. We'll take it down when something better comes out. The GameStop in Colorado still has the Halo 3 mural up from 2007. You can do that with what you will. Take that with what you will. A lot of people don't like the tin in the videos, and that is okay. Put the tin aside and focus on the charts. What we're seeing right now is what I believe GameStop's seen as a delayed cycle. This has happened so often on AMC. It's happened on GameStop. This is a delayed cycle. It's simple, and the cycle has begun here. We saw the beginning of this cycle in the red right here. Now, this is a beginning. This is a beginning. Following that, we had the melt up, which we're in, the melt up right here, and then this sell off, this mini red zone on GameStop. This is where I believe we are. We're in this little sell off right here. What happens after? Well, this is where it gets interesting because GameStop melted back up before pinching itself higher. In this scenario, GameStop is coming up on a date where the warrants are issued. So maybe warrants are a nothing burger and we melt higher, right? And then we get a catalyst. But the likelihood of us seeing volatility tomorrow is higher, in my opinion, meaning we could spike upwards after the warrants are issued. But again, I want to see some sort of catalyst come out. Taking a look at GameStop on a couple of other time frames, we can see that GameStop could not hold its trend. It's fallen below, and the major support level is about $24.80. A very similar pattern shows up on other time frames where we have these liquidity zones that GameStop is somewhat holding, but there is always this gap down to 23.60 that you have to pay attention to on GameStop. Overall, I do see this as a pretty strong support level. As you can see on GameStop's chart, the support level around 24.80 is pretty tough, and if GameStop wicks down in the morning, that is best case scenario instead of spiking higher, rejecting, and then climbing back lower, building a base to break lower again. Now, GameStop on a more macro time frame, you can see in the recent trend since April of 2024 back here, has made this low and a couple other lows, and we've broken above, retraced, and built a base right now on this. GameStop theoretically should be able to hold in the region that it's in to continue a larger move higher to $32 plus. My outlook is obviously bullish. My outlook is that things have to be cleared up, especially in the options chain. And a lot of people who sold their options can't rebuy because of the warrant issue that is going on. Let me know if that is still happening. But because quite frankly, I didn't sell my calls, and I'm interested to see what will happen tomorrow. Let me know if I should go live in the morning possibly or something like that, but I will definitely be in the Discord server. But let me know if this helps, and let me know if you agree with this. I see people calling for lower, which, you know, it's very possible. They love to do awful things with these plays, especially when everybody is overhyped to the top. But what we do know is that GameStop is worth, in my opinion, more than 25 fundamentally. I wanted to bring up crypto as well. And this also ties into AMC a little bit. Well, first of all, GameStop filed Form 8-A with the SEC about the warrant distribution date. Registrant applied to list the warrants to be registered here by the NYSE under the symbol GMEWS. That is what your warrants will show as. No fractional warrants will be issued according to Robinhood. The warrants will expire and cease. You know, actually, I don't believe, I don't know if they're wording this wrong. Reese Politics, shout out Reese Politics, by the way. I don't know if he's wording this wrong, but I don't believe there's fractional warrants in general. I don't think that they will be issued in general, not only on Robinhood, but again, maybe I'm wrong. The warrants will expire and cease to be exercisable at 5 p.m. New York City time on October 30th, 2026. Each warrant will initially entitle the holder to purchase at the holder's sole and exclusive election at a cash exercise price of $33. The warrant exercise rate is subject to certain adjustments for events, including stock dividends, share splits, and share combinations, rights issuances, other distributions, spinoffs, cash dividends, and tender or exchange offer. I believe that it is time. Not only is it time, but the filing that GameStop dropped today, I believe, the filing that they dropped was Project Genesis. We had Project Rocket, we have Project Genesis now, and my interpretation just off the bat, not looking too deep into that, is the beginning. based off of Genesis in the Bible, right? In the beginning, Genesis is the beginning of something parabolic, the beginning of something, the beginning. That is really it. Bitcoin is at 125K. I want to remind you that this deadline right here means that GameStop had to purchase before this date, which also means that GameStop's initial purchase is now this much in profit. Okay, don't know what the catalyst will be that they released, but I do know the company holds $9 billion in cash, and they have a Bitcoin investment that is up at minimum 20%. Overall, we move on to Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic, I believe, is looking good. It built the base off of this descending resistance level, which is now a support level. Built the base off of it, scaled, prepping for another move up. Not only Ethereum Classic, but small caps are looking good. Memes are looking good. Crypto is looking good as a whole. As Bitcoin has its last move, that capital is likely to rotate very quickly into altcoins and then meme stocks as well. Risk off assets. That is good for AMC. That is good for GameStop. AMC has been building some good momentum recently, making higher highs and higher lows, as we can see right here. And it looks to be on the verge of our cycle pattern that shows AMC is running up into a squeeze in the very, very, very near term. There's things to cover with AMC during a squeeze. I can tell you they don't want AMC to squeeze. AMC will not be able to dilute any additional shares. I don't know what else they could have up their sleeve, but right now that is the case. They really wouldn't want this thing to squeeze. Adam Aaron can't drop a squeeze if things happen or happen to get crazy on AMC. And AMC will likely have a sympathy move towards GameStop if GameStop does rally, which is what we expect. AMC's volume also since August has been slowly picking up into this possible parabolic state that we are entering. On top of that, AMC was down about 5% today, yet they released a press release of worldwide success with more than $50 million in the global box office because of Taylor Swift release Party of a Showgirl. Last but not least, BlackBerry sold off, broke below this channel even though it tried to hold, and smashed right back through it today, retesting that level at $4.80 that we called out during prior to its earnings period, as Discord members got in and made that earnings gain on BlackBerry. It's just nice to see the baskets run to give you a heads up. BlackBerry saying, hey guys, keep an eye on AMC and GameStop. I'm up 7%. Look at me. Right now, these things are trying to stump you, and I'm still very, very bullish. Overall, that is my outlook on today. I don't think much happened. I think we're waiting for the warrants, and I think it's okay to just leave a night video as a simple breakdown, not provide too much information. The simple breakdown is the brokers are gonna do what they have to do. Robinhood shut down today. They have to clean up operations. They have to do things with the options. There's going to be volatility. And the only people who are not stressing are the ones who just have to hold and see what happens. That is it, guys. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your night. God bless. Make sure to join the Discord. Top link in the description. Lottery Stocks out.